contemporary radio station in Zambia, connecting you to the newsmakers and events that make news in the global village.
Good evening. This is the 5FM Radio Main News. The headlines. President Hichilema calls for inclusive global order. DU president blames government for illegal mining activities. And South Sudan army threat to spare no one condemned. This bulletin is also streaming live on our Facebook page, 5FM Radio Zambia, and live also on our YouTube channel, 5FM Radio Zambia. With the details, my name is Lance Sannie Banda. President Hakainde Hichilema has highlighted shifting global dynamics and the need for a more inclusive global order. The president made the remarks at State House today when he received letters of credence from newly accredited ambassadors and high commissioners to Zambia. Mr. Hichilema said Zambia is pursuing broad economic partnerships with countries within Africa and beyond, adding that there is a need to scale up Africa to Africa investment and trade. He noted that despite its vast potential, the African continent currently conducts minimal trade within itself. The head of state explained that Zambia's foreign policy, which is anchored on security and economic development, places strong emphasis on investment promotion and economic cooperation. President Hichilema further stated that this approach underscores the importance of African consensus in the quest for greater representation on the Council. Those who presented their letters of credence include the ambassador of Germany to Zambia, Mr. Song Simon, the ambassador of Japan to Zambia, Mr. Mikami Akteru, and the High Commissioner of Ghana to Zambia, Ms. Elizabeth Nyantaki. Others are the High Commissioner of Namibia to Zambia, Ms. Gomes Menet, and the Ambassador of Colombia to Zambia with residence in Pretoria, Ms. Maria Rosario Mina Rogers.
Joint ventures for the two big economies, really, Germany and Japan. And that's the thrust of this government. And we want to thank you, the two of you, for your support in our difficult days, still working hard to come out of it, the debt burden that we had. We know that German, EU supported the Zambia Debt Restructuring Project, Japan supported the Zambia Debt Restructuring Program. Thank you for that. And now that we have achieved over, we would like to focus attention on extracting benefits from created following the debt restructuring. And that's through investment. So we want to see more German companies, more Japanese companies. In my private sector days, we dealt with quite a number of Japanese companies, Mitsui, Toyota, Marubeni, Marunouchi, all of those. And when we visited Japan, we talked about those issues and to really deepen our partnership in there. So it's a German situation. And thank you for the message from the Emperor, Imperial House. We enjoyed our visit.
Democratic Union President Hakim Anthony Njovu says government should be blamed for illegal mining activities in the country, saying President Hakainde Hichilema's administration has failed to address concerns in the mining sector. Mr. Njovu says Zambia Army commander cannot entirely be blamed over his extermination statement on illegal mining, adding that government is a whore and should be held accountable. Controversy has surrounded Zambia Army's Commander Lieutenant General Geoffrey Yele, who sparked outrage when he said he used rather the word exterminate to describe the government's approach to dealing with illegal miners in Mufumbwe. Defense Minister Ambrose Lufuma later on clarified that Yele's misused the term and that the intention was to remove illegal miners and not harm them. But some members of opposition and some civil society groups have called for Yele's dismissal, saying his statement was unacceptable and tarnishes the Zambia Army's reputation. Meanwhile, opposition DU leader Kim Jovu says instead of issuing threats like Army commander did, focus should be on addressing illegal mining activities with permanent solutions. Mr. Njovu recalled that President Hichilema's disruption of his Chiwempala rally in Chingola last year was as a result of government's failure to address a mining misunderstanding between government and the community.
As administration has failed to address concerns in the mining sector. They made quite a lot of promises to the illegal miners when they were still in opposition, which they have failed to address today. And the Zambia Army commander cannot entirely be blamed over his extermination statement on illegal mining. Government as a whole should be held accountable. Instead of issuing threats like the Army commander did, we should focus on addressing illegal mining activities with permanent solution. Though the intention by the army might be good, my worry is that Zambians will continue suffering as we are likely to see foreigners being engaged to conduct mining activities in those areas at the expense of local people.
The Zambia Police Service in Chilanga district recorded a fatal road traffic accident in which one person died. The accident occurred around 04 hours along the Lusaka Kafue Road near Apex Filling Station in Mapepe area. According to Police Public Relations Officer Godfrey Chilabi, the accident involved a Scania Marco Polo public service vehicle registration number AJF 4615ZM belonging to Jonda Bus Company, which was driven by Brian Banda, aged 44, of Garden Chilulu compound in Lusaka, and a Dongfeng truck and trailer registration number BLC 5152ZM, driven by Joseph Mwenda, aged 34, of Mamba District. Mr. Chilabi says preliminary investigations indicate that the bus was heading towards Kafue when the truck, which was joining the main road, failed to give way, resulting in a collision. He adds that the bus driver sustained multiple injuries and was pronounced dead upon arrival at the hospital. All 16 passengers who were on board the bus escaped without injuries. The collision resulted in extensive damage to both vehicles. The body of the deceased has been deposited at the University Teaching Hospital mortuary awaiting post-mortem examination and burial. The truck driver, who fled from the scene, later handed himself over to Chilanga Police Station and is currently in custody awaiting formal charges.
The Zambia Police Service in Chilanga District recorded a fatal road traffic accident in which one person died. The accident occurred around 0450 hours on the Lusaka Kafue Road near Apex Filling Station in Mapepe area. The accident involved a Scania Marco Polo service bus, registration number AJF 4615ZM, belonging to Jonda Bus Company, which was driven by Brian Banda, age 44, of Garden Chilulu compound in Lusaka, and a Dongfeng truck and trailer, number BLC 5152ZM, driven by Joseph of Mamba District. Preliminary investigation.
The permanent secretary in the Ministry of Water Development and Sanitation, Rumas Kamanga, has warned that shared water courses can become sources of conflict if they are not well managed, underscoring the importance of international water cooperation in promoting peace and sustainable development. Engineer Kamanga made the remarks during a meeting with United Nations Economic Commission for Europe, UNECC. Deputy Executive Secretary Dr. Dmitry Marisyany held in the sidelines of the ongoing high-level preparatory meeting for the 2026 United Nations Water Conference in Dakar, Senegal. He emphasized that effective cooperation over shared water resources is critical to preventing disputes and fostering regional stability, noting that Zambia remains firmly committed to strengthening transboundary water collaboration with the neighboring countries, including the Democratic Republic of Congo, Zimbabwe, Malawi, and other states with which it shares river systems.
If you don't cooperate, it's like you're planning for conflicts in future. Sooner or later they come, because the water is the final process. So the demands keep on growing. So if you don't plan for cooperation, it means you're better planning for conflicts in future. Because at some point there's also that, and you have to find a way
some arrangement. On the Congo, there is some arrangement that we still need to become a full member there as well. But already we are doing a lot of cooperation in Congo, the country itself.
Meanwhile, Mr. Maria Singh commended the Zambian government for its leadership in advancing international water cooperation within the Southern African Development Community, SADC region. He reaffirmed UNECE's commitment to supporting Zambia's efforts to promote transboundary water cooperation. Mr. Maria Singh further stated that UNECE is keen to see the development of meaningful partnerships that contribute to peace and sustainable development for all countries.
We really appreciate that Zambia took the step to listen to the convention already now a year and a half ago. I had an honor of in Dushanbe in one of the many water conferences to meet your distinguished Madam Vice President. Well, this was an honor for me, but also I hope an opportunity to basically we see you as a champion of the region, water cooperation. We really appreciate that Zambia took the step to listen to the convention already now a year and a half ago.
Government, through the Ministry of Local Government and Rural Development, has released a total of 5,256,739,654.71 ngwe kwacha under the Constituency Development Fund (CDF), representing 94% of the total allocations dispersed to local authorities. Speaking during a press briefing on the implementation of the 2025 Constituency Development Fund and the 2026 Outlook, Ministry Permanent Secretary Mr. Nicholas Piri said CDF utilization currently stands at 86% of the funds released as at December 2025. Mr. Piri revealed that during the year under review, a total of 2,985 community projects were at a cost of 2.9 billion kwacha, up to 3,000 projects approved in 2024 at a cost of 2.5 billion kwacha. He added that 48,985 secondary school bursary beneficiaries were approved at a cost of 188 million kwacha, an increase from 33,932 beneficiaries approved in 2024 at a cost of 134.7 million kwacha. The permanent secretary further disclosed that 47,071 youth skills development bursary beneficiaries were approved at a cost of 709 million kwacha, compared to 52,178 beneficiaries approved in 2024 at a total cost of 614 million kwacha. In addition, 6,694 loan beneficiaries were approved in 2025 at a cost of 421 million kwacha, compared to 5,265 beneficiaries approved in 2024 at a cost of 493 million kwacha. He noted that infrastructure development recorded significant progress, with 445 health posts constructed in 2025, an increase from 290 in 2024, while 309 maternity annexes were completed, up from 163 the previous year. Meanwhile, Mr. Piri indicated that 2.8 million kwacha has been released to clear outstanding payments under the Cash Forward program, adding that the process is expected to be concluded before the next phase commences within the next 2 weeks.
Recovering the loan portfolio that we've been building from 2021, 2022, 2023, 2024, and 2025, which is now in excess of 2 billion kwacha. We focus on recovering and ensuring that that facility becomes a revolving facility for as many people as possible to benefit. Going forward, we will not add any more additional portfolio to the already existing portfolio, which we have built over the past 4 years. We want to focus on other equally important interventions to improve service delivery. And some of those interventions, I'll be speaking to them in a short while.
Mansa District is hosting a 2-day training and mentorship workshop for potential women leaders in local government, bringing together about 50 women, aspirants from Luapula, Muchinga, and northern provinces in a major drive to strengthen women's participation in local governance. The workshop, taking place at Crossroads Hotel, is being implemented under the Partnership for Municipal Innovation, Women in Local Leadership (PMI WIL) project spearheaded by the Local Government Association of Zambia (LGZ) with support from the Federation of Canadian Municipalities (FCM). The meeting was officially opened on behalf of the Mayor of Mansa, His Worship Njiko Musuku, by the Deputy Mayor for Mr. Awesa Kalumba, who Ward Councillor of Mansa Central Constituency. Mr. Kalumba welcomed participants and cooperating partners to Mansa District and underscored the importance of the training at a time when the call for inclusive leadership and gender equality continues to gain momentum both nationally and globally. He has highlighted that although women make up more than half of the population, their representation in local government leadership and decision structures remains disproportionately low due to long-standing structural and social barriers. The PMI Will project was cited as a deliberate intervention aimed at addressing these challenges by equipping women with practical leadership skills, confidence, and mentorship. The 2-day training focuses on leadership development, confidence building, mentorship, and knowledge sharing with the objective of preparing women to effectively contest elective positions in local government and to participate meaningfully in council decision-making processes.
Support to initiatives that promote capacity building, mentorship, and inclusive leadership. We remain committed to creating an enabling environment where women can thrive in local government. In closing, I wish you a fruitful deliberation over the next 2 days. May this workshop inspire action. May this workshop inspire action, ignite ambition, and produce leaders who will shape the future of our councils and communities. Once again, welcome to Mansa, welcome to this important workshop, and I wish you every success. Thank you, and may God bless you all.
The Ministry of Tourism has confirmed 2 separate but deeply troubling incidents involving wildlife police officers, both occurring on the 26th of January 2026 in Mosi-Otunya National Park in Livingstone and Lusaka National Park. Principal Public Relations Officer Nelly Banda says in the first incident, a wildlife police officer on routine patrol in Mosi-Otunya encountered 2 armed poachers who opened fire using a military-grade AK-47 rifle and a shotgun. The officer survived the attack. The ministry says the use of such weapons suggests organized criminal activities, a serious threat to wildlife conservation and national security. This marks the second attempted poaching of white rhinos in Livingstone in under 2 months. The ministry has commended Officer Sylvester Ngandwe for his courage and professionalism and says security agencies are pursuing the suspects. In a separate incident, 28-year-old wildlife police officer Elijah Kayaya died after being attacked by a female rhino during routine operations in Lusaka National Park. He was pronounced dead on arrival at Chilenje Level 1 Hospital. Government has expressed condolences to the bereaved family and announced measures to strengthen officer safety and wildlife protection. And in other news trending this evening, the Mpika Immigration Office has detained 109 suspected illegal immigrants following a targeted operation in Shiwangandu District's Danger Hill mining area. The Minister of Mines and Minerals Development, Paul Kabuswe, says Zambia's mining sector recorded positive growth in 2025, driven by increased production, investment, and key policy reforms. Up next, the business news.
Radio Business News. We make business. Keep you current in commerce, trade, and industry, local and global. It's our business to keep you informed about business.
Government says it is accelerating efforts to position tourism as a major driver of economic growth, national unity, and job creation, with strong emphasis on private sector participation, digitalization, and improved governance. Speaking during a media briefing, Tourism Minister Rodney Sikumba says government had supported more than 99 traditional ceremonies over the past 4 years as part of efforts to promote cultural exchange and national unity, noting that close to 30 ceremonies were attended by President Hakainde Hichilema. Mr. Sikumba said the chiefs from different regions in these ceremonies were national cohesion and mutual cultural appreciation across the country. He also revealed that government has identified rather meetings, incentives, conferences, and exhibitions tourism as a key growth niche, citing its high revenue potential compared to traditional leisure tourism. Mr. Sikumba said while Lusaka has adequate conferencing infrastructure, destinations such as Livingston lack large-scale facilities, creating an opportunity for private sector investment. The minister further said government will open up heritage sites, waterfalls, and other non-performing tourism assets to private investors through public-private partnerships (PPP), following reform act aimed at making investment processes more seamless.
Obviously, with regards to our heritage, I think with the number of heritage sites that we have in our country, you will be hearing from my ministry very soon for private sector to invest in. We will not continue performing assets. Government has an opportunity to let go of this particular to be able to be sweated by private sector for a very long time. And I want to also indicate that I was part of that team, which never used to understand why it was so difficult to deal with government. But this time around, with the guidance of our president, your president, Mr. Hakainde Hichilema, who has given us strict instructions saying we are pro-private sector government. If there's anything that you could possibly do under this government is to support private sector.
Meanwhile, Minister of Labour and Social Security Brenda Tambatamba has pledged continued support to the tourism sector, which has been identified as one of the 4 priority sectors alongside mining, agriculture, and energy.
I have been associated with the tourism industry in a small way in my past adventures when I served on the tourism board from 2009 to 2012. And so I was looking at what was presented here and said we have come from a long way. And I know we're going to fly. One day we will be associated. Hear songs about Ibiza as we hear songs about Hawaii. And one day Zambia will be there. We are, after all, in the Champions League nearly here. I was surprised about certain numbers and seeing comparisons with other destinations in the region. I said, I think job industry, well done to support each other. Honorable Minister, that's what I want to say.
Ends the business news and the news from across our borders. The UN says it is gravely concerned after a senior military leader in South Sudan urged his troops to spare no one, including children, the elderly, and civilians when they are deployed to opposition-held areas of the country. Inflammatory rhetoric calling for violence against civilians is utterly abhorrent and must stop now, said the head of the UN's mission in South Sudan. South Sudan's Deputy Army Chief General Johnson Olunni made the call as he addressed his Agolek militia as they prepared to be sent to state. The government said this was not an order. Forces aligned to South Sudan's suspended Vice President Riek Machar have captured several areas in recent weeks. In sports news, middle distance great Firth Kipyegon, a 3-time Olympic gold medalist and a 5-time world champion over 1,500 meters and 5,000 meters, has announced plans to build a maternity facility in her hometown, Keringet. The 32-year-old Kenyan is now focusing more of her efforts off the track after announcing plans to build a maternity facility. Women living there have had to travel about 35 kilometers to access hospital care, putting mothers and newborns at risk, and the new facility named the Dare to Dream Maternity Ward will provide safer births. Kipyegon said while growing up in Keringate and actually still today, she sees something that breaks her heart far too open. She says she sees women who go into labor full of hope, carrying life, carrying dreams, and too many times they come back empty handed. And now, the weather.
Class Econ Roofing, plot 17100 off Katanga Road, 150 meters from Mumbwa Road, Chineka Industrial Area, Lusaka. Class Econ Roofing. Class plus economy. Class Econ Roofing Africa. Class Econ.
Western, Northwestern, Cape Belt, Luapula, Northern, and Muchinga provinces, including the northern parts of Central and Eastern provinces, mainly cloudy, slightly windy and mild with isolated rain and occasional thunder. Southern and Lusaka provinces, including the southern parts of Central and Eastern provinces, partly cloudy, slightly windy with a chance of isolated rain and thunderstorms. Ends our weather report, and that item brings us to the end of the news part. Before we go, a recap of the stories that made headlines.